AM 1170. The Answer.
Welcome back. Welcome back. You are listening to Whissel Weekends on AM 1170. The Answer.
Is that some nerd music?
That is nerd music, Jason.
It's like Superman. What else is in there? There's a bunch of stuff kind of wrapped in there. What is that?
I accidentally had two things playing at once.
Yeah, that's why. Because it's got a couple things.
Sounded
going.
good.
I'm pretty sure our guest, Mr. Robert Swathwood, host of the 9 to 5 Nerds podcast, you knew what that was. Can you identify both songs that were playing there?
I'm going to give you a little something that most of people that know me know is I don't like Superman. No, it's the one hero that I'm kind of like, eh. And it's because, I mean, he's the first one, and it's just kind of Superman, and it's kind of plain. But no, if that was Superman, that's why I didn't get it.
Well, definitely the first one was Superman. What was the other one, Todd?
It's actually generic superhero music from
Just
our
generic
music library.
Yeah, since we can't not allowed to play anything anymore, it's crazy nowadays.
Well, you could play whatever you want. It's just a pay-to-play model. Yeah, that's how it works.
It sounded like Superman.
Definitely was where the person was going with that.
Yeah, I think so. So also in studio, Jason Hall with Team Home Loans. And so, Robert, tell us about this podcast. Like, we work together on the real estate side. Obviously, you know everything I do. I want to learn about the podcast because I've not had an opportunity to listen to it.
Okay, so a couple years ago, I was thinking about doing a podcast, and I was talking to my friend Corey, who is my co-host, and we didn't do it. And then I went to a event down at the Comedy Club in San Diego, and Kevin Smith was there. Kevin Smith is a famous director. He directed Clerks and Dogma, and he said something, and it hit me. He said, you know, if you want to do something, just do it. There's no reason not to do it. Just get out there. And like with podcasts, you can go buy a $150 mic and start there, which is what we did. We went out and bought a Blue Yeti mic. I bought it the next day. So we started there, and Corey and I worked together for 12 years, and we're just both big geeks, video games, comics, movies, and stuff. And we just bit the bullet. I bought the stuff, and we started doing it. And then maybe 6 months into it, my wife had been a guest a couple times, and she's been on it for the last 80 episodes. So it's just me, my wife, my buddy Corey, and we have a guest every week. That's typically
how
friends
many
of mine.
episodes yet now, Robert?
We're at 89.
89 episodes.
I need to be at 93 episodes in 2 weeks, so we're going to be dropping a lot of content over the next 2 weeks.
So the wife must love geeks and nerds since you're a geek and a nerd, I imagine.
My wife does, and she was okay with us. We picked up the name Parker for our oldest after Peter Parker. He knows he's named after Spider-Man.
That's kind of cool.
His middle name is Grayson, which is from Invincible, which is an Image comic book that just ended, and it's got a movie that's being written by Evan Goldberg and Seth Rogen. And then my younger one is Oliver, who's the younger brother in Invincible, and his middle name is Riley, which is Ben Riley is Scarlet Spider, which is the clone of Spider-Man. So it's kind of.
And how old is Parker and Riley?
Parker is 8, and Oliver, which is Oliver Riley, is 5.
8 and 5.
Yeah, these guys are hardcore. I remember when we sold their last house, I think we had to ask you guys to tone down the superhero figurines because there may or may not have been 1,000 or so figurines around the house.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So you've kept everything your whole life?
Well, we had until we moved into this new house where we decided we were only going to put up our artwork and our statues. And we have some Invincible original art in the living room, and we have a Death Star cookie jar in the kitchen. But we toned it down. Oh, and the Han Solo and Carbonite shower curtain. But, you know, other than that, we've toned it down a little bit. I guess that's not.
Kyle loves selling those type of houses.
What's funny is the house that you guys sold for me, there was I had 2 pieces of Walking Dead artwork. That's the original artwork. Charlie Adler's the artist, and I bought them from him, and I had them hanging up. And we were waiting out back while the people were looking at the house, and the guy came up to me. He's like, "Oh my goodness." He's like, "That is amazing." And I talked to the guy for like 15 minutes about Walking Dead.
That's awesome.
Did he buy the house?
He did not.
Oh, bummer.
You could have included the artwork.
Because Kyle's like, that's the one thing. Kyle's like, I don't want any of the buyers talking to my seller. You know, the seller might offend them. The buyer might offend the seller. There's always issues that could arise.
Oh, we hit it off.
Yeah. And we did have that happen with another transaction. I won't drop that guy's name. We had a buyer hit it off with the seller, and literally the seller just gave away their money. They were like, "Oh, you want it for 20 grand less? Okay, I'll just sell it to you for 20 grand less."
Wow.
And just told Kyle. Kyle's like, "You know we can get 20 grand more." Yeah, I know. I just like these people.
We didn't hit it off that well.
Kyle's still shaking his head. We still can't believe that transaction. But
mind-blowing.
It's things you never know.
Yeah.
You know? you got to connect with people, and sometimes people just want to get a deal done. But talk to me. So what do you guys? What nerd stuff kind of is that podcast? If I want to tune in, what am I going to hear?
Well, this last week we actually recorded last night, and we talked about. They just announced it looks like Billy D. Williams is reprising his role as Lando in the next in episode 9, and we'll talk what nerd news was that week. If there was a movie like.
And for those that don't know, Lando is from the Star Wars.
Yes, he's one of the coolest.
So when you say
characters.
episode 9, we all know in studio here, but I know there's somebody listening going, "What the heck's episode 9?"
Well, I mean, Lando was in the original trilogy, and now he's reprising his role just like the 3 originals, Han, Leia, and Luke. So he's coming back. It looks like.
Nice.
So how early before Star Wars Land opens at Disneyland are you going to camp out to get in there on
He's already
opening
probably got a
day?
reserving spot. When's that coming out, by the way?
Like, are
2019.
you driving back to Anaheim tonight to like go back to your tent? Because it probably opens in like a year or so. So like at some point you're gonna have to start camping out if you want to get in there.
It's summer of next year, and the funny thing about that is we have annual passes.
Yeah.
And they change from here to there, and the price is obviously going to go up because Star Wars Land. But if you climb Tarzan's treehouse, which used to be Swiss Family Robinson,
Right.
Yeah.
if you go to the highest point, you can see. I mean, anywhere from the park you can see a little bit, but you can see the most from there, and you can see all the hills. And it's escaping my brain what the land is actually called, because they have actually named it now. It's not Star Wars Land; it's an actual planet.
Okay.
But I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, that's the best.
We
view
can
you
Google
get.
that, Todd. We'll figure that out.
Yeah,
Todd's on it.
it's exciting though. I mean, that's the biggest expansion that
Look how
Disney's
happy
ever
he
had.
is. Look at that, man. Look
Yeah,
at
it
that.
just lights up.
I can't wait.
You know, I'm excited
Yeah.
because unlike you guys here, like I saw Star Wars in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Right? Like I remember just falling in love with Chewbacca and Solo.
That was
and,
when somebody
you know,
literally had to like crank the
man,
reels.
It was,
huh?
I mean, it was a true memory of going to that. And then we were so excited when Empire Strikes Back came out. Waited in the movie lines, and then Return of the Jedi. And so I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
The
So am
planet of Batu.
There we go.
Planet
That's
of
what they're gonna
Batu.
call it.
Wow.
Explore the planet of Batu.
That's odd.
I think
That
it's-
is odd since they own Star Wars. Now you think they would have done something.
Well,
a
they're
little better
creating
now.
a new place. Like I heard. I mean, I don't know how accurate this is. That the people that work in the shops there are going to be from the planet. It's not going to be like a regular person that's selling merchandise on Main Street. It's going to be people, in costumes selling stuff at the stores because you're on an alien planet.
Been expensive
Ah.
to fly them all the way in from Batu.
Expensive to fly them all in.
So check
Like-
this out. One of my good friends is the lead inspector for the city of Anaheim on that project.
Wow.
So one day we could maybe like take you to like a costume place, and they could like make you up to look
Oh,
just
wow.
like
Look at
him,
them, look at
and
them.
like
Good.
get you in there, and you could pretend to be the inspector for the day.
That would be cool. That'd be awesome.
I told
That
him,
would
I'm
be
like,
awesome.
do you realize like how much is in your hands? Like, if you don't pass this stuff and this doesn't open, like you're gonna have a lot of pissed off nerds coming after you.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. Comic-Con being here coming up, the lines of people there. I mean, it's the same thing. It's
But
crazy.
What a smart thing for Disney to buy the Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like for them, because now they know how to take and utilize that for people who want to enjoy it. Because you're so excited. I'm excited to go see it. Like, we were there in February, and you could kind of see the stuff going on. And I'm excited to get back up there, but I could already tell I'm gonna have to wait a few months because it'll be so
Oh, yeah.
crazy busy. The first, probably the first 3 or 4 months, it's gonna be insane.
And my dad lives 20 minutes outside of Orlando, and when they opened up the Avatar stuff, he said that's 4-hour wait for some of the rides. I'm not gonna waste 4 hours. Just wait a little bit. Go in, get a fast pass, do that type of stuff.
Nice. What else you guys talk on the podcast?
Like I said, we'll do the movies. We'll talk comic books that are coming out. We're all big fans of Skybound, which is an offshoot of Image Comics. Skybound is the comic offshoot that Robert Kirkman started, who's the creator of The Walking Dead. And we're big fans of that. And we'll talk, we did a lot of stuff on Avengers when Infinity War came out. And then we also play some games that we came up with that have like, with this superhero, with Spider-Man with a lightsaber beat, this superhero. So we've come up with some games that we play on there too. It's a lot of fun. I really, really enjoy doing it.
Now, you're a gamer, you're saying, right? So you're
Yeah.
still, and I don't even know what to call you guys a gamer, right? Like, but I know this, like, my nephews, we can't get them away from the freaking
Fortnite?
Yeah, probably Fortnite. I don't even know what it is. But every time I go watch them over at my mom's house, they're just like literally playing by that. But even my son, I was there on, I don't know, Sunday to clean out one of the jet skis that I took out for a short time that I hadn't had running for 9 years. And I showed up, and they're there literally playing, some game on the TV. And I'm like, dude, can this thing be paused? Oh no, this is live. And his roommate jumped in and said, I'll show him how to play it. So but this is serious stuff for you guys. I don't understand
They
that.
run tournaments for $1 million+ tournaments.
Oh yeah, esports is like a huge thing.
There's kids who pay money to watch other people while they play video games so that they can try to learn what they're doing.
And that's how these guys are making money. So they're literally like sponsors, and you pay people to to watch. So
it's like voyeuristic, but video games.
Yeah, it is kind of different. But then you can watch the moves, so hopefully you can learn how to get further ahead in the game. Is that kind of the?
You know what? I once I had kids, I had to kind of tone down the video game stuff.
Well, that's what happened to me in 1990 when I had kids.
Well, I still play, but I have one game going at a time, and it's not online. I tried to play Fortnite, and I've aged out. Wow. I tried to play these kids, and they were just destroying me. But I've gotten into a lot more, honestly, it sounds weird, but board games have picked up in like adult board games. I play a game called Gloomhaven, which it's a 22-pound game. It came in the mail. It was 22 pounds.
Have you heard of the Gloomhaven, Kyle?
Gloomhaven is the #1 game on BoardGeek.com right now.
Well, and Kyle, we got a family night coming. We got game night coming.
This is not a game you play with 20+ people.
All right.
But Skybound puts out a thing called Red Flags, which is similar to if you've ever played Cards Against Humanity. It's an adult game like that, but it's like you have to make a perfect match for somebody, and then the person next to you sabotages that person. So you have to try to sell this person that's supposed to be this dream date, but then you like curse them with this really atrocious thing, and that's a fun game. You can buy that from Skybound, and it is excellent. We've played it on a Christmas party with like 20 people, and everybody is cracking up. It's really good.
This is good stuff.
I love it. Again, we're talking with Robert Swathwood, the host of the 9 to 5 Nerds podcast. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to talk about Comic-Con. Like, I got to understand, why is Comic-Con such a big deal here in San Diego? You're listening to AM 1170, The Answer. We'll be right back.